Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet again another round of 16 match in the OSU World Cup. Today we have quite the matchup indeed. C24 against C26, Netherlands against Taiwan. With Taiwan fresh off of 3 wins in the contender side, and Netherlands a bit of a rough start for them. 1 win challengers, and thus here they are in the losers bracket. I'm Blanked Up, and joined by me will be Mavs. How are you doing, my guy?
Yo, what is up, Blanked Up? Thank you very much. I'm doing fantastic. Pretty excited for, like you said, a fairly closely contended match, especially when we're looking at just seeding 24 and 26, and Taiwan with a phenomenal performance in groups, which is great to see from them. You know, it's not the Taiwanese roster we've been used to seeing for a very long time, missing some very key players from the past few years, players like Flask, players like Shield, not here, but we do have, you know, some stars still on this roster. Players like Riser, one of the best players, like, always for Taiwan. Willie, Spinestein, Ruyaya, some of these players very, very good, but Netherlands here as well to play, and on paper have the advantage in terms of seeding. And, you know, Taiwan, I think, has always been a team very strong in early rounds, and I think that maybe goes to show why they did so well in groups as well, is that those 3 wins, like, probably helped from the fact it is like a more early round pool. Taiwan's always been really good on those early round pools. But we're moving up in difficulty a little more now, starting to approach that qualifier kind of difficulty here in the round of 16. And so we'll have to see how they fare, if anything poses too much of a trouble for them. As teams here opt for picks or bans. Looks like we're going to have Taiwan on the first pick. And I'm curious what the pick strategy is actually going to be for this one, Blanked Up.
I mean, looking at the group stage here, they are quite a consistent team overall. They did too well on Hard Rock 2 last time, but they will respect Netherlands' capability on the Hiddens, banning dressed as goblins. It is a mix of, I think, 1/6 and just normal alt. It is very flowy, so Taiwan, not really a fan of that, I suppose. And Netherlands banning No More 3 instead. Sadly, we won't be listening to our Lord and Savior, Masayoshi Takanaka. What a shame.
That is actually quite the shame, unfortunately, but it's going to be gone nonetheless. Actually, interestingly, from groups, Taiwan playing the No Mod 3 map that was, however, fairly different to this one, so not worth comparing. No Mod 3 last week was it was like a low AR, but this one is more ult consistency, going to be opting to take that out against Taiwan. What was the ult map from group stage? I'm trying to remember. What slot was the ulti map in? Was it? Ooh, I don't remember. There was a DT3 was pretty ulti.
Not much equivalent for this round's No More 3. I mean, DT3 is snap ult, I suppose, but it's more of a one spike wonder. Nonetheless, though, Taiwan actually opting in for DT2, which is very surprising. Netherlands have been very consistent on these high mechanics. Just straightforward maps. They were, I think, number 2 DT2, number 2 DT3. Well, DT3 was step out last round, but No More 2 is pretty comparable with this one. Noticeably slightly lower BPM as well, but much longer in the strings pattern.
Yeah, Netherlands doing very well on that DT1 and DT3 in the group stage, as you sort of mentioned there. Number 2 score on DT3, but of course, that was like an ulti map. For the stamina here, on this DT2, this is basically just 230 BPM stamina, not much else to this map. It's really just a stamina check, and Netherlands, although pretty good scores, played it twice in the group stage, 3.15 mil both times, very consistent. Taiwan did come out on top. They did play it once in the group stage, 3.7 million from them, so fairly big lead on the head-to-head there, and yeah, they had double FC on the board, Riser and Willie both going off, so kind of makes sense that they would opt in for this one, but Netherlands are going to be strong on a map like this as well. I don't think this is at all going to be a guaranteed point.
Yeah, I do agree. If you guys are confused about the names, exclamation mark Netherlands to see the explanation, but On the stamina pick last run, we do see Perth again, which is Luciano, John Atkin, which is Nailed, Wet Tails, which is Ael, and John Zenith, which is Tutel, and I think we are seeing them again, except Gengauzo will be coming in, which is Knight.
Interestingly as well, qualifiers, both teams pretty much matching each other on the DT2 out of qualifiers. It was a 20,000 score difference. So I'm expecting this one to be close. Taiwan feeling like they have the edge though, with their performance from last week on DT2. See if they can perform at that level again. Of course, Netherlands proved the consistency from playing it twice. Taiwan only with the one play. But they know themselves the best. They feel like they can take this one home, and we'll have to see. If you want it to be a close match, you're hoping for Taiwan to take this pick. Always want the teams to take their own picks, make this one close. But early on, we are going to see Netherlands have a little bit of a collapse, and that's what you want to see. You want a close match, but Shiro Sora is going to be finding a break there for Taiwan, so 2 FCs to 3 now.
An early discrepancy from 3-4 players, but Jonathan alongside Perth again recovering quite nicely. As soon as the aim element is gone, they are tapping it away. Shirazor definitely having a bit of a much more difficult moment for Taiwan here, but all things considered, it is pretty equal. But nonetheless, the accuracy might come back to haunt them as the lead kind of shrinks for a bit there, but no longer as I say that.
Accuracy across the board pretty solid. There's just one player on each team struggling a little bit, but there goes Willie's combo. He was holding an SS for Taiwan. He was the high accuracy player, and he drops the FC. That's huge for Netherlands as they hold on and start to make the flicker, but no, Gengauzo finds the break, and there goes Windtails. Both FCs for Netherlands are gone, and now they just have the 2 recovery combos. Riser finding a drop in the midst of it as well, so it's just a flyer now for Taiwan, trying to hold off these recoveries from Netherlands, and there goes John. Flyer and Shirosora up against Perth again, and I think for Taiwan it should be enough moving into the ending here, Blanktap.
120k difference, and never mind, that was a bancho miss from Perth again, so there's no need to celebrate too early, but it does seem to be very much secure. Taiwan, Shirosora and Flyer with the combo, especially Flyer with the whole shebang. That's a full combo and a half, 330k lead. Alright, that is a first pick. Well done. Going into Netherlands now. Let's see what they're gonna do.
That's kind of what I think was to be expected on that map. It wasn't gonna be a stomp by any means. That could have gone either way. There were combos on Netherlands, 3/4 through that map that could have pulled them over the edge, but wasn't meant to be, as we see a few very crucial breaks towards the ending, and Flyer holds on magnificently for Taiwan. Willie, very, very heartbreaking miss right in the middle of the map. He was SS. I believe he was SSing up until the miss, which is just, it's the most heartbreaking way to drop an SS, but how it be sometimes. Netherlands now gonna have to trade that point right back, and what will they go for is a question. It's always it can be kind of tough to pick in a situation like this unless you're very, very different from your opponent, which I don't think these teams are necessarily that crazily different. There are some standout skill sets. Taiwan, I think, are going to be more favored on low AR, but they're very closely seeded teams. I think most of these maps are going to be close. So really, what are they going to go for is the question. I think something like Hard Rock should be decent for Netherlands, but maybe these free mods are an option as well.
Yeah, they've been doing really well on the Hard Rock skill set, but Prima 3 will be their choice, and this is definitely quite an interesting pick.
Yeah, Fremont 3 gonna opt in for some I want to call it generic tech, but I feel like that's almost it's exactly what you would expect from a tech map. It's nothing crazy, there's no weird cross map high SV sliders or anything. It's what you would expect from a tech pick. Very consistent all-round tech map. So, not not expecting to see too much overmodding, especially in terms of the hard rock. We potentially see a couple comfort hiddens come out. This map, I don't think, is much more difficult with hidden if you're a hidden player. But we will have to wait to see. Netherlands did have the advantage on No Mod 4 in qualifiers. However, Taiwan with the highest score in group stage, so should be a close one yet again.
Yeah, this is definitely something to be wary of for Taiwan. I mean, again, really good scores on their attack picks in the group stage, but this is less slider pick check and more just consistent sliders all around. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so plenty of pressure to not slider break on. A random slider to say the least in the middle. You don't really want to cap out your scores. But again, John Atkin and John Breeze alongside Windtails coming in for Netherlands. Going to be Galhau's first map in round of 16 now as he comes in, as well as Ethan's.
Yep. Players hopping in the lobby here. Good luck, have fun's come out. There we go. It's going to be that free mod pick for Netherlands. And I would be very shocked here, Blank Tap, to see a hard rock overmod, but I implore the teams to do it. It would be cool to see, but I don't believe it's going to be the case. I think that would be psycho, to say the least, to overmod hard rock this. But actually, no overmod hiddens. Just going to be the minimum amount of mods here on the free mod 3. As we hop into this one, Netherlands to pick and see if they can convert their first pick, just as Taiwan did.
Indeed, Taiwan very consistent in the group stage, but can they hold that same standard in round of 16? Willie with the first mid on hard rock, but John Atkin, the first mid on no mode and really on hidden. 3v2, bit of a mirrored situation that we've seen when compared to the first maps.
Ooh, Perth again though, finding a bit of a rough miss there on almost nothing. So 2 FCs still remaining for Netherlands. Up against the 2 for Taiwan. Willie with that recovery. A little bit higher than John Ethken, but there it goes. Recovery down, and there goes an FC to trade for Netherlands. Now just John Breathed remaining for Netherlands. And still 2 FCs intact here for Taiwan as we move into this key eye section. This is where we're going to see the big breaks, and Willie struggling to hold to that hard rock. There goes John Breathe, FC gone, as well as the hard rock player for Netherlands. So John Ethken doing everything they can to build up the recovery, but the combos are just way bigger on the side of Taiwan right now. And these FCs, the no mod consistency holding strong for the Taiwan players here.
Yeah, Ethan and Gaho holding it down so well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Gaho is a newcomer, and yet he got the 41st placement overall on the group stage for his performance. This guy is no joke. He has been terrorizing other tournaments with his prowess, and he is showing it off today with his number full combo thus far in this map. Netherlands scrambling for any kind of recovery, but Taiwan is not giving them any opportunity to bring this back.
It's not even just the combo either. The accuracy for Taiwan is so much higher across the board. It's basically the lowest ACK on Taiwan is pretty much the highest ACK on Netherlands, so, or at least close to it. So not only is it just the combo, it's also this accuracy diff, and there goes Willie and Ethan to drop some of their combos. That's one of the FCs gone for Taiwan, but at this point it's such a humongous lead, and Netherlands really has nothing aside from John Ethken, who's doing everything he can for the Netherlands players, but it's just probably not going to matter with this recovery from Ruyaya and the accuracies we're seeing.
It is absolutely spotless. These all means nothing. Gawa, how turning milk into cheese on that slider and keeping his full combo. Can we see the whole shebang once again? John Atkin is still there, but 600k difference on Netherlands' own first pick. This is devastating.
Yeah, I mean, this is more convincing than Taiwan's pick was. And this is a break point. Of course, this one's already done and dusted. There is no chance of this score coming back, but How much can they win it by is the question, and can Gauhao close out the FC? A few big recoveries on the board as well. John Efkin is one to find the break on his recovery. Ruyaya's there, but it's all eyes on Gauhao. If they can close out the FC on this free mod 3, is it gonna be? Yes, it is.
Oh my god. Ruyaya with the beautiful recovery, but Gauhao was healthy all the way. That is a score to be seen in the round of 16 as they go back into their own pick. This is a dangerous position to be in for Netherlands, Mavs.
Yeah, it's not what you want in a best of 9, at least. You know, some of the later rounds, best of 11, even the very late stages, best of 13 matches, you know, you can afford to lose a first pick. It's not always the end of the world. You've got time. But this is first 5, and you're already down 0-2, and it's now Taiwan's pick again. This is very scary. It's a very scary position to be in, so Netherlands, they gotta lock in here. They gotta pray they can try and get a break point on the board, because you do not want to be going down 0-3.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, that's
a
what I was
bit
expecting.
Yeah, it's time for Karyodon, ladies and gentlemen. A low AR, I think slight perfect stacks action in this map as well. Pretty interesting road we are seeing from Taiwan, starting off from that kind of straightforward mechanics onto basically just low AR awkward aim.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of sort of just, yeah, awkward, what you would expect from like sort of awkward AR8 aim, but on top of that, it has so many perfect stacks. An uncomfortable amount, I would say. To the point where, yeah, if you haven't practiced this map, like, you're going to miss on every perfect stack, but we will assume Netherlands leaving low AR open against Taiwan. They certainly have to have had practiced this. There's no way they leave this open if they haven't. So, I'm not expecting anyone to really struggle too heavily on the perfect stacks. Expecting everyone here to be well practiced on it.
Yeah, definitely. Don't at me on this, but one perfect stack is kind of already too many. So let's see if both teams have done their homework. Ray and Flyer already sitting still with Tails, and John Brick definitely expecting once again Gauhao to come in. That man is pretty scary on Lawyer, to say the least. Spines 90 and John Atkin still waiting for one more for both sides.
And interestingly, some statistics just from the group stage. Netherlands playing the Hidden 2, Coconut Love playing that twice from groups, getting 2 million score both times. Taiwan playing it once and getting 2.5 mil. So Netherlands still gonna have a capable roster on this, but the advantage definitely to Taiwan, as expected. Taiwan has always been a very good low AR rating team, and here they are again, picking it in round of 16.
Yeah. Jonathan, born to sleep, forced to play Hidden 2. That is such a life for a tournament player, that's for sure. Good luck, have fun. We shall see if Taiwan can keep this up, or will Netherlands somehow, some way, miraculously bring this back on this pick, or will they have to wait for another map for their opportunity? Everyone loaded in. It is time to aim. It is time for perfect stacks, and it is time for AR8, the favorite number for Hidden 2.
I mean, look, on paper, this is the map I expect Taiwan to win by the most. But perhaps me saying that is just enough to curse them and for Netherlands to get a break point and make this a close one. So we'll see. But absolutely, I think on paper, Taiwan are gonna be favored on a map like this. And early on, we're seeing just fly out with a very early break in the first 30 combo. There goes John Efkin on the side of Netherlands. Everyone else holding fairly comfortably. High axe across the board, as you would expect from players on this map. Ruyaya has missed every single note on the perfect stack. I don't think he hit one. He didn't hit one note.
Oh no, that is not good at all. I was expecting that to be Bancha, but the jump's coming in now, and it's only leaving Gengaozo against Gao and Flyer, but the Ruyaya accuracy giving Netherlands a bit of cushion, but it is going to be spent upon this one section as Gao with Flyer holds on strong against Gengaozo. A 1v2 situation for Netherlands, but Wintel's unable to recover after that stream.
I mean, look, I was saying I was expecting the players to be well practiced. I suppose it doesn't mean they're not. Nerves can absolutely eat away at you on these perfect stacks, but there goes Gengalzo, the remaining FC for Netherlands finds the miss, and that's not what you want on Netherlands' side right now, because Gauhao and Flyer are there with the combo, and Gauhao has been a bit of a menace, and don't want to be versing this guy on an FC. So this is going to be very scary for Netherlands moving into this final third of the map. You need these two players to break for Taiwan if Netherlands, I think, want a chance. They just don't have the combo. And there goes Gauhao.
No more second full combo for Gauhao. Not going 2 for 2, but Flyer on the reverse choke run, holding it pretty well alongside his brothers Rui and Spice Knight with solid 500 combos as well, holding the score lead down to a solid 300k. The quarter of the map remains, and yeah, time has probably ran out. Netherlands is going to try nonetheless though, but they need a miraculous triple break. That's one that's still, but there's also two on their own territory.
That's the hardest section of the map, I think. Claims many lives, but some big combos still remaining, and Flyer still holding on to what I believe is a reverse choke. I don't think this is the FC. But still a phenomenal performance as he gets through these wide angles, gets through these doubles, hits the squares. Flyer closes it out for Taiwan. 400k lead for them. And what else can you say? But well done. Taiwan looking clean today. Nothing, no crazy outstanding, triple FCs or anything, but they're just looking solid across the board.
Yeah, they were so consistent on group stage, and they're just showing that consistency again in round of 16. Flyer recovered quicker than you can say banana pudding. Just one miss in the beginning, and he decided to lock in 950k. And now Netherlands still 0 points, plenty of pressure. And I
have to mention, sorry to cut you off, I have to mention the 23 misses from Ruyaya is just sending me, because I think like all those misses had to be that perfect stack. It was just, he didn't hit a single note. It was just every single note on that perfect stack.
I'm willing to bet the $7 in my pocket that he practiced this map, he sight-read it, and he got like maximum 4 misses, and that happens on match. It's just, we love our perfect stacks, guys. It is the best thing in the world, especially on Hidden 2.
We love note lock. What can you do?
Alright, big problem for the Netherlands nonetheless though. Tried to go for Fremotic, did not work. Going to go back to their old trusty hot rocks. It is time for awkward aim, long slider map. Plenty of opportunity to drop your slider ends on this one, and it is quick.
Yeah, I think Netherlands also historically been a pretty solid hard rock team for at least recent memory from the past few years. Always been pretty solid on the skill set. Out of the qualifiers, they did beat Taiwan on both of the hard rocks in the qualifiers. Hard rock 1 was, both hard rocks were very close though. Taiwan is going to be no slouch in the skill set either, so should again, it's just like I was saying before, it's that type of match, seed 24, seed 26, there's no real outstanding skill set advantage aside from, I think, Taiwan on low AR. So it's gonna be tight, like no matter what. And so far, Taiwan have just been coming out on top with this 3-0. And again, group stage as well. Netherlands playing the hard rock, beating Taiwan on both the hard rocks as well in group stage. But it wasn't by a lot. It was close. All these scores are within like 150k, so should be fairly close.
Yeah, one low roll, one bit of fluctuation, and Netherlands could easily lose their footing here, but seems they are very much ready. Didn't take too long on that pick, probably still within their prep, so let's see if they can keep this going. Taiwan though looking so consistent, looking so scary, and this is yet again another heavy reliant on consistency map. 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Lots and lots of these jumps player just seems to be stuck, but there he is out, and let's see who's gonna replace him as the fourth player.
Yeah, this is, again, it's not as generic as you might expect in a Hard Rock 1 slot. This has got a lot of anti-aim in it, although it is very consistency-based, as you mentioned. A lot of anti-aim and some weird sliders that you might not expect if you're not well practiced. Maybe you forget about them. Catch a funny slider break. I'm sure someone is going to slide a break on one of these high-velocity sliders. It will definitely happen. See who it claims. We'll have to see.
And here we go. A bunch of promises. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Now, it's time for the map. Starting off already with a miss from John Zenith, it seems. But not too much just yet. But again as well, trying to shake off the nerves, it seems. Very early 2v4 late, but recovery is gonna come in quick unless we see more misses on the side of Netherlands.
Interestingly, not seeing Riser in on this Hard Rock pick. That's very surprising to me. Kind of is a very good Hard Rock player for Taiwan, but not in for this Hard Rock 1. Most combos still intact. Pretty much 3 FCs to 3 here. Perth again finds another break. Spine Snap with the early miss. And there goes Windtails. So that's a big FC gone for Netherlands. Now Taiwan does have... Never mind, they found a triple reset in the midst of that as well. So Willie is the only one to hold on here for Taiwan, and there goes another big combo for Netherlands, Burning John, I believe, to find the miss, and it's just John Zenith versus Willie at this point. We're over a long one too. This is 3.5 minutes. We're only a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, this is definitely a very difficult map to get consistent combo, consistent aim on. Raya finally getting another miss. Ethan is now gone, leaving only Willie and Spice now on the recovery. Once again, the triple miss on the bottom right. Here comes the sliders up and down. John Zenith eating this up like French fries. 600 combo, hitting the sliders alongside Willie. 98% accuracy, not much accuracy gone just yet. Very scary section though. The water's coming in, the up and downs. Everyone's still going on some of the triples. The
square!
But when John misses, he's the only casualty of that square.
The square. I was waiting for it. I was scared. John Zenith finds a miss after on the anti-aim section on the linear. Finds a break. Willie now to hold for Taiwan. And Netherlands does have a 70k lead. They still have 2 big combos, but... Oh, there goes another big combo. Perth again. It's just Windtails now. There's no other combo to speak of for Netherlands, and that's going to flicker over very quickly if Willie keeps going. And you know what this Willie guy's capable of for Taiwan. I've seen him freak stuff before in recent years in OWC, and is continuing to do that here on the Hard Rock 1 for Taiwan, pretty much solely on his shoulders. But if he can pull this score lead even further away, it might be enough for the rest of the Taiwanese players to pull it over the line. And he's just doing just that, Blank Tap. Just insanely consistent stuff from Willie on this Hard Rock 1. This is not an easy map to FC.
This is definitely something else, Willie. Just flourishing, absolutely hydrated, just improving the score more and more. 0 misses, and that's what the 0 in Willie 214 stands for, I suppose. This is just absolute performance from Taiwan. Windtails will finally go down. There is no more combo in the Netherlands to contest, and Willie is just there on top on his throne. 1300 combo going to the last section. He got it in the bag.
Yeah,
there it is. Look at that spin, Mavs. He is happy.
He is ecstatic with that. That is a fantastic score from Willie, and worth mentioning Spine Snipe as well with a beautiful reverse choke finding that break at the start. Very, very well done. Not a map I think we're gonna see a crazy amount of FCs on. It's just can be a bit of a funny map to play, and it's so long, and it's just got weird linear patterns. It's the type of patterns that are really difficult to play with nerves when you're holding a big combo. So not going to see, I think, a crazy amount of FCs on something like this. But Willie pulls one home here for Taiwan. Very, very good score. And across the board, scores were pretty similar. It really was only Spinesknight was the only other outlier by about 100k over many of the other players, but yeah, the main difference just being Willie on that one.
Now, Taiwan, they've done the first 4 steps. They're gonna take the 5th. Looking at the map pool remaining, I suppose if they really want, they could go for the anti-mod, but not much clue if they really want to go for free mod too right now. They kind of can go anywhere actually with all these wins on these various skill sets.
Free mod 2, I could see them picking. It is an option, but you know, when you're playing an AR 8.5, you're not forcing everyone on Netherlands to play AR 8.5, you know? And they definitely have at least a couple players that are going to be very comfortable on that approach rate. So I don't know. It should still be a solid pick for them, but I wonder where else they could go. I was going to say No Mod 5, and it is going to be No Mod 5. I get the pleasure of casting this disaster of a combo game. Like, it's so hard to combo this map. And we are going to see it again. It's just so fun to watch, man. It's so fun to watch. This is our O2 original for the week, of course. Thank you to everyone who worked on this. But man, this map is funny.
CS6 rhythm. The rhythm, whatever the decision wants from this map. But it is a work of art. Definitely quite a bit of a treat. It is Gladepalling, Lermus. John Brian first again, coming in Rie and Willie. Oh my god, you can hear it. The Palling slider, it is upon us all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm emotional.
I mean, this is just, if you haven't seen this one this week, you're in for a treat. I said this yesterday when casting Australia-Romania, but basically the way I'd describe this map would be unplayable in tournament, because it really is that kind of map where you practice it and you get some 500, 400 combo runs to some solid scores, and then you play in match and your max combo is 120. And I mean, what do? It's just nothing. You're not safe anywhere in this map. You are never safe.
Yeah, this map, definitely the combination of a slot machine and Taiwan going all in on this one. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, gold. But instead it's falling. It's going to be No Mod 5. Let's get right into this one.
Yeah, here we go. Amazing background. Just great stuff, really. Love to see that. Here we go. It is going to be the No Mod 5. Also, Ruyaya breaks on the slider immediately, goes too fast. Everyone else holding on though. Interestingly, CS6 as well. So if this wasn't awkward enough and uncomfortable enough with some of these patterns, it's also CS6. So you better be precise, your control better be on point, and you better not misread, because slightest misstep is going to be a miss. And there goes Gauhao, Ruyaya, perfect again, John Fken with an early break, and there goes Ethan on the 1/3, so we're already down to 3 FCs.
1, 2, 3, and here we go, going to the main portion of the map. Then now is John Brinkpert again, finding a misery, yet trace it out. Willie still holding on strong, still riding the hype from that hot rock one, and he is still within office hours right now, still working on it. Go with 150 combo, not much combo in the stuff in Netherlands, and Willie embodying the palling. Oh my god, he is comboing maps.
It's just Willie time again, man. And this is what I said yesterday as well. I think this is the map we're gonna expect. This is gonna have the least FCs on it, I think. It's just Willie time. Like, these sliders, not playing any of them correctly, does find the break, unfortunately. Willie not there to hold the full combo, but Gauhao has a huge recovery. 500 combo, gets through that whole section, finds the miss, and here's the best slider, my favorite slider I've ever seen. As a lot of players find a reset on the cross-screen reverse. I mean, how do you combo this, man? No one's comboing.
Yeah, 70k difference. Oh, and everyone died except for Gao at the end there. And did anyone really pick 0-5 for the pickups? This is definitely quite the showing from Taiwan.
I don't think so. I have a feeling anyone taking Pick'em seriously definitely would have not put 5-0 for this match. But Taiwan, they show up and they play super well today. Flyer, Gao Hao, Willie, all putting on fantastic performances, I would say, for Taiwan today in the match. And they will take the 5-0 sweep, which means I believe Netherlands are unfortunately going to be eliminated from the tournament. This was a lower bracket matchup, as these teams were in the lower seeded groups. So they both go straight into the lower bracket, I believe, and into the round of 16. And Netherlands is unfortunately going to be departing World Cup 2025. But commiserations to them, and GG's to go out on No Mod 5 is... it's a funny way to go out, I guess. I mean, you can't help but laugh after playing that map, surely. I feel like I would be cracking up. I'd be cracking up at my 200k and 60 misses on that.
Yeah, definitely not a bad way to go out. Once again, Taiwan keeping it up with the consistency, and they will be rewarded to a one-way ticket to the quarterfinals, to say the least. But, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys, plenty of tickets to watch the upcoming matches at 10 UTC. There will be UK versus New Zealand on the second channel, casted by Damers and Doomsday, alongside Thailand against Japan on the main channel, with Lion and 40 to cast for that one. And that is all for this match. Maps, any last words?
I mean, again, commiserations to Netherlands and GG's to Taiwan. Very well played from a few of their standout players today, but worth mentioning as well, Taiwan going to be moving on in that lower bracket to face off against Romania, who unfortunately went down to Australia yesterday.